We're back to it. Bring it back home. It's all 727 bike.
Riders ready. Watch the gate.
I always believed I was going to be a pro athlete. As I was a kid, I just loved being outside, and I loved playing sports, and I loved challenging myself physically and competing with my friends. Why would I want to work a job when I could play with my friends outside? BMX is a 20-inch bicycle. There's no gears or anything like that. BMX racing is where we start on a gate, and then the gate drops, and it's a full-out sprint to the finish line with 7 other guys elbow to elbow going over jumps and turns. Definitely a contact sport, adrenaline junkies, and it's a blast. 3 months after I turned pro, I tore my ACL, my PCL, my MCL, and both my meniscuses, and I just was getting cocky. I went off a jump a little weird, and then landed sideways, and it was, yeah, I didn't know what happened, but I couldn't walk. I was in pain. My knee was exploded. I couldn't do anything. It took me a year to recover, and my first race back, I retore everything. And then it took me another year to recover, and my first race back, I broke my heel. It's funny how the universe says, no, not so soon. You didn't quite learn your lesson, and then I had to go back and learn and heal. When I was like 25, that's when everything broke, like my body. Like I broke my leg, I broke my femur, my knee exploded, my collarbone broke. I had pains in my ankles, both my knees, my hips, my back. I couldn't even sleep at night. I was scared, I was lost. I had no idea, like literally, I put my whole life into my physical ability and what I could do and perform physically, my whole life. And just to hear like, that's gone, like, and you're not, like they said, you're not getting that back. That ride home, like I was, never been so scared and just so afraid in my whole entire life. But by the time, it was a 30-minute drive back, but by the time I walked in my front door, I knew that I was gonna devote every ounce of energy I have in my body to prove them wrong. Like Abraham Lincoln says, if he has to cut down a tree and he has 6 hours, he's gonna spend the first 4 hours sharpening his axe. So that's what I did. Like during that time, if stuck in this house, I wanted to sharpen my axe as much as I could. I breathed and I read and I just studied and I just tried to better myself and heal myself, and that's what got me into growing the yard, and that's what got me into meditating and breathing and journaling, was just trying to, how can I take my innate gifts and talents and develop them and to really step into my best self and use these gifts and talents, because we all have our own special gifts and talents. We just have to connect with them and develop them. How are you doing today?
Doing good.
Diet is a huge part in all of our lives. Like that's the make or break for not only how we're gonna feel emotionally, but how we're gonna feel physically. I just kept researching and studying what is the best thing humans can possibly eat. And like the more I studied and the more I researched, the more it came down to food that is, one, grown from the earth, not made in a lab, but food that's grown from the earth and as natural as possible with no chemicals, no BS. It kept coming back to the closer that food is grown to you, the more nourishment, flavor, and nutrition that food is going to have. If you want, you could just buy all the plants already full grown. It's just a lot more expensive, and right. You can have it done in 2 weeks just installed. But I've been growing a lot of these plants since they were so young because it's just cheaper. We have bananas, we have ice cream bananas, apple flavored bananas, we have star fruit, papaya, firebush, sweet almond, jabuticaba, which is a Brazilian tree grape. We have jackfruit, which is like the biggest fruit on the earth that tastes like juicy fruit. We have Barbados cherries, Suriname cherries. We have fruit that tastes like cotton candy. The diversity brings the strength in the garden. Yeah, exactly. So like You know, one of the biggest reasons why I do it is to share the fruits, is to share the nourishment. Like, there's no better nourishment than food grown in your area.
I can smell it.
Yeah. This has been my first year back, and if you ask me how it feels, like, I gotta tell you, it feels really good to feel really good. Every day that I'm on that track, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to connect with my mind and my body and push myself to get better and hang with my friends and be in that environment again to where we're all pushing each other to get better. And I'm racing great, and I'm having more fun than ever, and I'm just grateful for being back on the bike. And I mean, none of this would be possible without MyRadar. Like, they not only like made it so I can come back from those injuries earlier in my career so I can start racing full time, but I mean, it's truly amazing that when I went through that, when they wasn't sure, like, we weren't sure if I was ever going to be able to walk again, and MyRadar stuck with me. It's just nice to be involved with a company that aligns with my same values and that really adds fuel to my fire. Me thinking about worst case scenario is not going to help my best case happen, you know? So I'm really thinking about what I have to do to have my best lap, not what can happen if I have my worst lap. It's just like the garden. When you plant the plants that you want, you don't have to worry about the plants you don't want. And it's the same thing, like, our mind is just a garden, and it's taken a year and a half, and I'm still working at it every single day to keep planting those good seeds and to keep nourishing my soil inside my mind.